Hello everybody and welcome back to Copenhagen Flames versus ENCE. We are ready to jump on into the pistol round as things went down, I guess in a way according to plan. ENCE taking Inferno. They are the favorite team coming into it, but Copenhagen Flames put up one hell of a fight and had it within their reach at one point. Now we're on train, ENCE's map pick, on one where they look a little bit better. It's going to be a hard task for Copenhagen Flames to take it to nuke, but if they can get there, they might just look good enough. ENCE looking to split into A very early on. As the clock ticks on, 3 up on top of Popdog, 2 in Ivy. They're already making a little bit of noise, hoping to drag those B players up. Copenhagen Flames remain firmly planted in their positions.
Yeah, neither team rushing to actually kick off the action in this round, as you can see. It is kind of an A-stack with how aggressive they have a couple of those players, but they also have one in connector who can rotate quickly as well as being able to help if an A-main push was to come in. So it's not the worst setup. Nadios has a nade here where once he does find contact, he'll likely try and drop that, see if he can do a little bit of damage. And is actually going to save it for the moment, making the correct decision because we see a lot of those players going towards upper now. A second nade as well in position from Farlig. They're just going to wait for this push to come in and see if they can tag up all of these players, or at least quite a few of them. But here we go. This B-bomb site is going to be swarmed real soon. A couple coming out of upper as well. Nadios is going to be caught, but he gets a double with that nade before going down. Farlig with one as well, dropping aerial. And suddenly it is a 2-on-4. Sergey and X7 left to try and save this pistol round now for ENCE. As if they find this kill up close on Farlig, I was going to say that could be a good opportunity. Unfortunately, losing one before doing so.
Yeah, it's a really rough situation for Sergey. He was still on the Glock as well as he swung out wide. And he's quickly dealt with by Hooksy. The flank was on its way as well. I really don't see a lot of ways that went in his favor. With that, we are going to see the bomb defused and a 1-0 lead for Copenhagen Flames. Feeling good and looking good. Starting out the CT side, but they've allowed the plant to go down, and that's the most important point, because if you take a quick old look over towards ENCE and what's coming up on their player bar, you'll see a lot of money already being invested. Having that bomb plant allows you to buy up, and seeing a scout come out in this kind of position, I'm not sure if we have seen one. No, just 3 AKs. Okay. Especially considering how well Alu was playing. I wouldn't be surprised if he had the scout already. But allowing him to take an AK alongside 2 of his teammates, it's not a bad start to the round, but that is, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Sunny going down, I mean, it puts a little bit of darkness on the round, you do have to say, for ENCE, but the rifle, can it be retrieved? Was it dropped just outside of A-main? Is that what happened?
Just inside, I think.
Oh, just inside, yeah, so it should be picked up. Taking their time, though. Oh, I got blown out a little bit, so it is actually up closer to the train. Trying to peek out. Farlig, I believe, getting a little bit of a wall bang there on him. Queenix also found a kill in the meantime, so yeah, this round is just not going well for ENCE at all. It's down to just Alu and Aerial, and even then, Aerial is pretty low at this point after getting naded down. Do they know Alu's up close? I think they are at least being cautious of it. You've seen one man on green train. It was Hooksy. Had been spotting for it. At this point, Alu really is just hoping that someone's going to make a mistake. It's the only way they're going to have the opportunity to work back into this round, eventually realizing he needs to start going forward, but eventually also being spotted. So there's the info for Hooksy, there's the info for Copenhagen Flames, and they should be able to overcome this force fight quite easily, it seems. Ooh, that could be a little bit scary. It was just a tight angle, though, that he was spamming away on. But there we go. Alu eventually able to get one.
Oh, wow. More than one as well as he turns on to Hooksy. Still, the HP is so low, Copenhagen Flames should be able to follow through with this. They need to get those one-shot headshots. Honestly, the difference between an AK and a Deagle is very, very lightly defined at the moment for these Ts. They're one bullet no matter what, really. And with 15 seconds left, Alu's best chance is to just barrel forward and possibly die so he gets money. They've spotted him, but they're avoiding the fight right now, running the clock all the way down. 4 seconds remaining. 2, 1, and here they come to hunt him down and take the kill, but Alu quick on the Nodios. No one else pushes him down, hoping they'd get the opportunity. Instead, he's able to carry forward that AK, and a really nice shot by Alu to secure that rifle.
Yeah, as you said, at least giving them one to work with in this round, where otherwise they are unfortunately just looking at the full eco. Maybe a couple pistols can be afforded. They get 2,900 after losing this round, but I think ideally they do want to keep everything that they have pretty much. So yeah, not really too much. A few nades even on the players who don't upgrade the pistols. This gives them a good chance to at least try and get that bomb down, which ideally they do want to find. Alu himself is not going to be able to afford the op. it's not really going to be able to be dropped over by anyone either unless they get a bomb plant, in which case Aerial or X7 could go ahead and give it over. So it would be a pretty big bonus for them if they're going to be able to find it. And working towards B, it's Train. It's one of those maps where the bomb plant certainly can be achieved, especially when there's only one around the bomb site. At this point, Nadios is playing passive, so he'll try and do what he can, but there is a good chance that they're going to concede this bomb plant.
Yeah, most likely considering these positions you're seeing as they rush on out. They've already made it in, getting the plant down, and it's just about Alu covering from a distance, the pistols, making sure they don't push up close. Alu's got one. This is workable. Bit of an overextension by X7. And being tagged up heavily. Somehow Aerial manages to get a kill on a Glock. And Dean, this is doable now. The pistol's out to trade Alu. The rifle recoverable. And they've even got it on the AK of Aerial and Connector. I mean, I agreed at the start we should only be seeing a bomb plant coming down, but that is phenomenal. Alu with 2 kills, Aerial up close on the Glock, and then recovering the AK following on that. That's a disaster. Not around Copenhagen Flames should have been conceding at any point.
That's the issue with playing for the B retake. If the T's are able to get themselves an aggressive afterplant, we didn't see that rotation come in quickly enough through Connector to be able to try and get a couple nades in at least towards the bomb site, do a bit of damage, weaken up a couple players before they started trying to move forward. And with that, ENCE just continued to go. Alu on the AK was able to give some cover, take the attention of the players while the pistols did close in the distance. And we've seen how it went. Now it's Copenhagen Flames on a very weak force by trying to fight back into this round. They're going to be seeing a quick play coming in. Aerial is the one to try and lead the charge, but the Deagles are doing all of the work right now for Copenhagen Flames. The only man to return is Sergey for ENCE, as he is still alive, but he's low. It's all onto 2 men right now for ENCE to actually try and save this round. Alu, you definitely want him to be one of them, and you see why. He's already gone ahead and actually recovered a couple of kills quickly. And obviously no weapons being upgraded for these remaining 2 either on the CT side. And there we go. Alu just has easy kills. What is happening? None of them have even barely looked back at him. I think they're intimidated.
Well, I don't blame them. I'd be pretty intimidated against Alu at the moment as well. I thought he had the timing on the ult, but Farlig now moves up on top. It is only a scout, but and Alu's not one hit either. That's the big concern. It has to be a headshot. And it doesn't have to be for Alu. As you see him finishing that round off, it did get pretty scary though. I mean, things got meaty towards the middle. But again, he comes up as our impact player. 4 kills that time. Almost putting him up to double digits within the first 4. Pretty impressive feat.
I'm not expecting much here in this one, Mitch. I'm sure that really no one is expecting much. It is just the USPs. They're going to take a bit of a gamble, though. With the one flash, they want to try and clearly challenge towards a main. Not starting off too well for them. Alu gets a team kill on the Sunny. This is definitely giving a chance to the CTs, but as I say that, it is going to be denied. There was team damage as well from, I believe, Copenhagen Flames players as well. What the hell happened that round?
It was a little bit of madness. You can't deny it. These things happen. But as we look through to the 6th round now, we can at least take solace in the fact that Alu was slightly further away from double digits now on the kills. That's the upside Copenhagen Flames were looking for. Now let's talk about the downsides. T-side's already off to a good start. Hooksy's got no armor, and the opening duel. Oh,
what the hell?
Hello? That took a long time to follow up on the Sunny 4 on site. The trade's also, never mind the trade. Sergey takes Farlig down without even falling himself. Although Farlig had just found a kill on his teammate. Hooksy misses the shot and without armor. Oh, that is a bit of a death sentence. Odios last alive. The spray was good for damage, but not able to delete X7. And most importantly, the bomb goes down. Time now on their side, and despite low HP, there is no way for Odios to know that. He wallbanged one of them down to 6. Sergey, he is low, but there's no way that they could tell that. Well, that's one way to tell. Shoot him in the head, and if he dies straight away, I guess he's low.
Yeah. Well, that helps, but still, it's such a difficult... Oh, Alu, look at this. He should just have a free kill right now. Nadios has no idea. Why would Alu be lurking here with the op at this point? Just why? But yeah, he is anyway. That's the point that stands. Gets the kill on Nadios and does bring it up to 4 for ENCE. Again, also forcing Copenhagen Flames back down onto a weaker buy now. They're not having the greatest of starts here so far on their CT side of train, despite being able to pick up the pistol and the round following it, ending up losing up against kind of that it was nearly an eco apart from the 1 AK and a couple upgraded pistols. They've struggled a little bit now since then. Again, just a few upgraded pistols for Copenhagen Flames. They do have full loss bonus, obviously, but they don't want to be spending too much. I would imagine coming onto the double up setup here in this next round. There is some nades, though, being exchanged by both sides, actually doing quite a bit of damage. Sergey nearly got dropping down into Pop Dog. It was a bit of an inopportune time for him to attempt that, unfortunately. And now he's being pushed by a B player as well, so this could be dangerous. They're going to try and swarm him. Oh, maybe not. It's only going to be Hooksy now who actually takes that peek in long range against the AK after Sergey was given a little bit of time to actually back away. So that wasn't an easy one for him. Farlig is up close to main. Also has Refresh back on the brown train to peek as soon as he finds contact. So this could get a little bit dangerous. There is a chance for at least a few weapons to maybe be taken away here by the CT side. And there we go. There's one from Queenix, Hooksy. And Queenix going to be able to get his second over towards Ivy, apparently. Yeah, down into a 2-on-2. There's still a minute remaining, but the bomb, it is actually dropped over towards the, I believe, green train at this point indeed. Yeah, dropped over towards Ivy behind that green train. So we do have to see ENCE retrieve that before they could even consider maybe taking it anywhere else.
Well, Alu's managed to take down Queenix, making it a little easier to get out there and take the bomb. Nodioso, he's been spotted. They just saw his left leg as he came around. And Sergey putting 5 on the board for ENCE with that frag, and with the 2 preceding it. Copenhagen Flames get an investment out now, and they have, in recent rounds, done alright in terms of dealing damage to ENCE. The problem is, before that, that wasn't the case. And so they end up in a position where the T side, they've got a buffer of economy there for sure. Copenhagen Flames have a lot of work to do before they end up in a spot where they're comfortable.
Yeah, quite a bit. It's unfortunate that they are off to such a slow start. They're already being down by a map after the first one being so close. Going to 2 overtimes before it actually was able to decide a victor. But it is not looking quite as good for Copenhagen Flames early on in this map. There's a bit of a challenge over towards Ivy right now. Obviously, we see that's not where most of the players from the T side are moving. They've already grouped up over in the B hall. Not really making noise as of yet, I don't believe. Nodios is the sole defender on this side of the map, just playing a little bit more passive. Was that a nade tossed over the top there that done some damage?
Looks like it.
That certainly helps them, especially if they are playing with just one player here for the retake setup. Having a little bit of damage in their favor, if they can pick off 1 or 2 before the bomb goes down, that will put them in a perfect position. And look at this, yeah, Nodio's creeping up behind that smoke right now. May be able to catch one that's up close right now, potentially off guard. Oh, if he goes through to try and stop the bomb planter, there's a couple players actually watching for this, I believe. Alu still goes down, though. Here we go. Nodios gets the double. Aerial up close on Isle now has to be worried as they start moving in from around the connector train as well. He's going to need this help from X7, who's already being dispatched of. Aerial needs to go massive from this position, and he's just not going to be able to do it. Sunny's left alone in towards heaven. No utility, unfortunately, and he is being flanked up by Queenix as well, which he wins. But it is extremely costly, only leaving him at 1 HP. So, yeah, I think this is kind of done for him at this point. Refresh indeed already sticking that defuse. So, it is finally Copenhagen Flames getting themselves another round on the board. And doing so convincingly, keeping 4 alive. That's what they needed.
Yeah, that was essentially impossible for him to get back into it. And for Copenhagen Flames, they've gotten themselves back into the game. But remember, with ENCE currently on 5 rounds, those are the foundations built. And now they're looking to finish off construction on the Palace. Get as many rounds up as they can, and they'll be living a life of luxury. Copenhagen Flames need to be flawless from this point forward. 7 consecutive rounds is a lot to ask. They can maybe afford to drop 1, but anything past that, and this CT side turns into a bit of a disaster. Refresh, a man we've relied on in the past for big kills, gets 1 and baits a player wider out. As Aerial falls, Nodios, it took a little minute to react there as the player came down. Sunny punishes him afterwards. That split-second decision not to shoot ends up costing him a lot. And possibly even costing Copenhagen Flames.
Oh, X7 not able to win that fight up close in connector. I like the idea. They were trying to fight for that control. They planted the bomb a little bit more open as well. If they had have gotten that one, then suddenly it would have been so difficult on this retake. But instead, obviously, Sunny is left alone. Currently up close to Isle Train. The issue is the timing here could be a little bit unfortunate for him with already 1 player creeping out from heaven. Yeah, he's going to look down and just be able to catch Sunny, who had no idea. Plenty of time, obviously, for that defuse to come in. ENCE at least getting the bomb plant. It helps them out quite a bit here. They do have plenty of money. Aerial, though, is a little bit low, so it's going to give him just enough to get his rifle out. Maybe a flash behind it as well, if he wants to. But Copenhagen Flames slowly beginning to recover here. The issue is already 5 for ENCE on the T side. They're only looking for another couple to really feel good about themselves, about how this T side has gone. So they're just going to be looking to try and grind out, as I said, another 2 or so rounds. Obviously, if they get more, that would be fantastic. And as I mentioned, they are back on the buy. I like that Aerial went for the Galil instead. Now they have full nades on everyone.
Utility can definitely play out as a big part of the T side. When you look at ENCE, they like to take early control and then slow it down and play that slow round, but maybe they won't this time as Alu's already got one. He looks for the feet. Just an inch away from showing it. Fires at the smoke, but the player had already sidestepped it. Moving up close, Refresh wants to make a big difference. He is flashed off the angle by his teammate, and then a second one. This time I'm presuming it was a terrorist one, and indeed it was. Aerials flew high, popped Refresh's vision completely out of the game. And there's nothing to be seen in Ivy either. A perfect smoke. 6-7 is safe in the back for now. They still have to deal with Queenix. Well, they've done that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe Queenix could have done something. You were about to, of course, get those words out as well. Firelight eventually gets one and nearly managed to peek in and try and catch that bomb on there, but not allowed to in the end. Next 7, not going to be given any room to Nodios either, as he just comes straight through that smoke. And yeah, ENCE, they bounce back. They let 1 round go. They're going to be able to immediately... Sorry, they let 2 rounds go. They're immediately then bouncing back, putting themselves back into winning ways. And with that, forcing Copenhagen Flames to spend all of their money. If they were to lose this round now, at that point, ENCE are very likely going to be bringing themselves up to 8 rounds already. So they cannot afford to lose this one, which is a little bit weaker. Firelight, I imagine, has the op. Yeah, it is indeed on the ground. He had spent over 7,000, so I was presuming it was there. I think he may have given the MP9 perhaps the refresh as well. So it's not a terrible buy, but they need to win this one out right now. And as you already see, ENCE taking the pace up towards the A bomb site. They find all of the opening kills, and it is not going to slow down. Sergey and Ariel going to be helped out by Sunny as well as they swarm the bomb site. Nodios is in position. Had a little bit of a gap in that smoke. I thought he may have spotted the bomb carrier. Instead, actually spotted Sunny, I believe, moving in towards Ivy right there. And oh, they have no idea he's here. Eventually bounces for 1 and a second. But he is alone, so he needs an ace clutch. With that now, obviously everyone knowing where he is, I highly doubt he's going to be allowed to go unnoticed any longer. They're all focused in on this position. They have one player who's even wrapped around in through the back lines, and I would imagine at this point pretty much confirmed that he's moved in towards Ivy.
Well, there's nowhere else you could be at this point, right? I mean, they've cleared everything out, maybe behind Green Train, that's about it. But there's no reason for him to be tucked there. You can see Sonny's got an idea, and he starts to move forward. Nodios could be having a couple of cloudy days. As in the T-spawn, they make some noise. They start tracking his attention over there, and Sonny just swings through to close that one out. 7 rounds on the board now for ENCE. And with that, it's already a good T side. Also, the fact that they should be facing into pistols makes it even easier. Copenhagen Flames getting an investment onto armor and deagles, and whilst this can be a scary buy at times, they should have a read on the economy they're up against. Although a faster play to come out towards A, this could be dangerous. Luckily, the nades aren't lobbed in. That was my main concern. Those 2 frags that were bought up, those 2 HEs, would do some damage, but Hooksy's being taken down before he can deploy his, and Ariel takes a decent chunk of damage. Now vulnerable to the deagles as they push forward. Already -1 player, but Alu, he's quickly cleaning it up. What was that? From on top of the... or onto the players above the trains. We're all good then.
It happens, Mitch. We all good. Alu is 13-6 right now, though. Just putting some extra syllables in cleaning. Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah, Alu's 13-6, though. He's top fragging again. He's having another incredible performance, I think is clearly to be said. Obviously, on the T side of train, you can have a little bit more freedom with the op than you could back on Inferno, which I think makes kind of how dominant he was on Inferno even more impressive. But he's keeping up the performance. He's not letting his level drop at all, and he has all of his teammates helping out as well. They've already got 8 rounds here on the T side. That's the issue now for Copenhagen Flames. They need to recover back up to 7 if they want to feel even somewhat comfortable moving into that second half. Of course, already being down by a map as well.
It's very hard to keep yourself in a positive headspace. But as we said, the motivator in this case is more than in any game we've seen in the past. In group stages, you can brush it off and say, oh, we can do it later, right? And then at a certain point, it's like, oh, we can't really do it anymore. But when it comes down to, like, this game, these next 3 or 2 or this map here, define whether you get 100 points and one step closer to the major. Afterwards, you can't do anything. Win or lose, doesn't matter. It's over. You're running road to Rio, at least, is halted. For both of these teams, it makes a big difference, that extra little bit of motivating factor. Sergey, Sunny, both opening this one up. Farlig was walking out with a pistol, and he uses that to dispatch... What was it? Sunny, Sergey, X7, Ariel. They're all dead. I'm trying to look at who died to the pistol, and then everyone's just joining up on the kill feed. What's happened? Alu's, he's been a clutch player so far, and he's got to be again. They're even watching him, though. Nodios knows this is a possibility, but he's too slow. Uxie's not, though. Had the perfect angle. Man, that was so quick. I literally glanced at the score, at the kill feed, and it just went up, 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 up. I couldn't catch it.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either. We didn't manage to catch all of them on the camera because that would have obviously been impossible. So that was just very chaotic for ENCE, and unfortunately they weren't able to come out on top of it. It ends up giving a good opportunity now back to Copenhagen Flames, as I said, the grind back up to 7 rounds. That's going to be their goal. In this one, though, there is still plenty of money for ENCE. They'll still have enough on most of the players going into the next round as well, especially if they can get that bomb planted. But as they did previously when they lost the round, they've just gone straight back towards a bit of a quicker A play. Not quite as fast. It is just Alu who's taking this initial peek to see if he can find anyone really peeking forward. And yeah, Refresh gives it to him perfectly. Just out into the crosshair. Alu doesn't have to do anything but click mouse 1. And suddenly, ENCE have a man advantage off the back of that. It looks like with that, Copenhagen Flames feeling pressured to try and pull something back, going a little bit more aggressive, and the AK is continuing to win out the fight. Great damage by Huxi, but it is not going to be anywhere near enough unless Farley can find more. But no, not able to connect that one up close. It's all on Nodios now. A FAMAS, that's it. A nade, a smoke, no kit. Does he save?
Yeah, I think he does. Whoop. I think he does. In this spot.
Voice crack, Mitch.
Not a word, Dean. No, we talked about this, goddammit. No, but, I mean, his opponents have less than 200 HP between them, but obviously there's no way for him to know that, as we said. And in these kind of positions, not in this one, more so on the previous map, there were a couple occasions where you want to be like, just go for it, but there's no way for him to know. And the one guy that wasn't low is the one to peak. Goes down to 20 HP. Sergey smokes his body because screw you. And there was a smoke on the floor anyway, so he doesn't lose his own bit of utility. 9-5. Walking into the last round wouldn't be a concern anyways. He could have dropped his weapon if he wanted to. They've got all the money they could possibly want on that T side, and with 9 rounds built up, it's already looking so indomitable. Copenhagen Flames certainly not making it easy for themselves as they do want to win this series. They're going to look to find that 6th round. An SMG, a Scout, and even a Deagle as they walk into this with just 1 M4.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them do some damage with less, but it's not going to be an easy task here for them at all. And already ENCE are trying to pressure on towards B. Trying to is now the word that I need to emphasize, because Ariel has had his head ripped off by a scout there as he tried to come out upper. So he does pull one back. There's just pushes everywhere across the map right now. It's so difficult to follow. Sergey, though, is going to make it a little bit easier as he gives us a kill towards the A bomb site, and with that, it is completely open. All of the CTs had rotated over towards B. That was the goal. They were trying to sell out the fake. That's why they were just pushing everywhere. And they just made it so difficult for Copenhagen Flames to read, and unfortunately they made the incorrect decision. They're now down into a 2-on-3 in the retake, as Alu may have the chance for more. Not quite spotting that player in on the old bomb train, but you need to see this kill for Nodios, otherwise it's just done, and yeah, that's exactly what happens. 10-5, as we see the half going massively in favor of ENCE now. Going onto the CT side of train, on their map choice, already up by a map. Everything right now is working against Copenhagen Flames. The question is, can they find anything now when they do return? Of course, guys, we are going to send it over to a quick break before we get live at the second half of Train.
It's easy, it's hard to preach, 'cause Cause I've been burning trees and watching fall. If we cannot breathe out, we go forward. Sure, I was searching for cure, fishing a little wildlife. And when I'm low on fuel, I'll still be running till my back broke. Halfway, lost hope and I checked it. Hard roads, I didn't think I'd come back fast. Cause I was running roads, so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I ended up zero. This is such a ghostly revelation. I may have fucked up all my chances. Been around the globe, looked around, nothing fitted. Seen high and lows, but you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not the end, but the road, and you won't even get it. Been around the globe, looked around, nothing fitted. Seen high and lows, but you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not the end, but the road. I was running. I was running roads, so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up zero. This is such a ghostly revelation. I may have fucked up all my chances. Fucked up all my chances. Yes, I was running. I know. I know. Look into your eyes, I see the colors of your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We are two hearts that beat in time, and the towers looking down all night, blocking out the sun that we need. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors.
And welcome back, folks. Copenhagen Flames versus ENCE, 10-5. As we start out the second half, we were saying just before, ENCE have had a dominating attacking side, and now that they move to the defense on the favorite side of their map pick, it definitely doesn't look good for Copenhagen Flames. But we don't want to draw things out of proportion, I guess, in a way, or into the realm of impossibility for the T side. Let's take it one step at a time. Starts off with the pistol round, and Copenhagen Flames need to follow through on this one. At least get a bomb plant. If they don't, chances of winning this go down the drain.
Yeah, quite massively. That was a bit of a risky play there in Pop Dog in the beginning of this round, but it did find a bit of info for Nadios, I believe it was. Oh, X7. Nearly getting caught actually as he peeked in towards Ivy, but Queenix blind as he pushes forward. The flashes are just perfect from Refresh. Thank you very much, X7 is saying. Blinded up both of his teammates. What the hell?
Yeah, well, you know, these things happen. It's working out so far. ENCE walking away with a 4 versus 2. X7 ran out of ammo. Hooksy's all alone. Yeah, they trade out from Aloe immediately onto Refresh. Hooksy just caught between the trains. 2 players easily able to swing him, and that was pretty much the end of that one before it began.
Oh, sorry, I just kind of got speechless right there. For a second, I was like, I didn't see anyone on the CT side throw a flash, and I was like, yeah, no, Refresh just got the assists on that, on both of them. That was kind of crazy. Very unfortunate. X7 was just capitalizing on a bit of a mistake they made, and as we had said, that pistol round was such a necessity for Copenhagen Flames here in this matchup.
A necessity, it definitely was. Like, they've obviously just got Glocks to work with here, and not many people lose to these for ENCE. With lots of SMGs to work with, or 2 at least, and lots of utility as well. 2 kits in case things go bad. It's hard to really look at this situation and see Copenhagen Flames walking away with the round. On the back of that, it should be 12-5, and from that point, Look at that. I love a little crab walk to avoid getting headshot. And you can see, actually, there probably would have been damage done if they were standing up, in all honesty.
Potentially, yeah. It depends on the timing, obviously, but the little crouch saves you the possibility of this. So you may as well. Worked out quite well for them. Obviously, not really having anything in this round, though, apart from just the Glocks that you start with. So I don't think it's really going to lead to a lot in the end here for Copenhagen Flames in the round. They are moving back over towards Ivy, I believe. I thought they were just going to go together on main or something, maybe, because they did have one player moving towards there early on. But no, most of them focused on Ivy. Makes a bit more sense, because if they can get up towards the top, obviously at that point a little bit closer range for the Glocks to try and swarm. But the nade going in, they actually do step back as soon as they see it on its way over. So they are going to, at this point, just back around and I guess all try and swarm out main together. But Sunny is a good position here to hopefully try and get himself at least a couple of kills. We'll see them jumping forward, lines them up indeed. It's a little bit awkward as he begins to run low on bullets, but at that point already having the assistance, of course, from the UMP of Aerial and then also X7 as well popping out from Ivy. So 12-5, easy enough for ENCE in that round, as you would expect against 5 Glocks. But Copenhagen Flames, this is where they need to pick it up now that they've come onto the guns on the T side. If they don't get this opening gun round, then at that point I'm going to have to say that I really won't have any faith in the comeback being a reality or a possibility even.
Well, I've got to completely agree with you, Dean. And the comeback relies on them finding this round right here. Without it, chances go right down the drain. And as we reach into the depths of the terrorist tack book, the ability of Copenhagen Flames in a series that matters to them, I bet, more than most they've played in recent memory. They started out poorly. A nade landed straight at the feet of Farlig and Refresh, who were boosting up. They lose a lot of health. But Queenix has managed to sneak out right behind Sunny. Looks to Ivy for more, but they lined up, unfortunately, so they could both kill him.
Oh, look at this from Sergey. Nodios is, though, potentially expecting that B aggression to come in. Unfortunately, he isn't able to win the fight for himself, so it is ENCE who find themselves the man advantage once again. A bit of damage already done to both Farlig and Refresh, as well as they're dropped down to their 60s, so this is not a good spot for Copenhagen Flames. We said this gun round is a must-win for them, and so far they're not even winning out any of the fights, really, apart from that initial one on Sunny. Alu even going to drop down and just push forward. He doesn't care at all, and it does cost him his life in the end, but with a teammate there to help, it will not cost them the round, most likely, indeed. Aerial pops out a pop dog. They have upgrades to AKs for days, and it's ENCE on 13 as Copenhagen Flames, without the bomb plant, they're looking at another eco. It's about to be 14-5, most likely, Mitch.
That's it, Dean. I mean, really, we're starting to hammer home the point. We're continuing to. Copenhagen got to make something work, and they just can't at the moment. It's as expected coming onto this map. Just such a stark contrast to the previous, and struggled, fought tooth and nail to take Inferno, and when they brought it to a win there, that is when we lost a lot of hope. The fact that Copenhagen made it close comes into play a little bit, but you have to also consider the fact that ENCE are just so good on train, and Copenhagen not so comfy. Nowhere near the comfort level of Inferno. They had it within their grasp, and it's got to be demotivating that they let it slip, but now they pay the price, and ENCE are here to collect in force, looking for their 14th round, and it shouldn't be a hard one to find. Pistols everywhere. Well, not everywhere, actually. None on A. They're all coming out B. The op, though, collateraled, and literally everything is working against Copenhagen Flames. The flash is perfect. Oh, oops, that one wasn't so perfect. Sergey turns into it, but still manages to follow through on some damage. Aerial finishing it alongside X7, and that is a clean round. They did allow a bomb plant, but honestly, having 5 alive on your CT side, I don't really think you mind giving the bomb plant. You'd almost rather that than committing one player and losing him. Look at the amount of money they've got. They face a full buy, a comfortable one, but it was going to be that whatever happened.
I mean, we even seen Copenhagen Flames when they were back on their CT side trying to play the same setup, and obviously in one of the rounds it did end up actually costing them. But ENCE played it out a little bit better. They were able to do a bit of damage. They obviously did have the opposition there to find one kill was the hope. Obviously hitting a collateral at that point and pretty much confirming it. So yeah, ENCE able to come out with all 5 players alive, putting themselves now in a fantastic position to try and close this game out. But there is already Refresh having actually creeped out into Olaf. Farlig dropped straight down Pop as well. Finds Aerial up close on the E-box, and suddenly it's a man advantage for the T side with that player creeped out into Olaf, as I mentioned, who is not expected at all. I would imagine now they do bring it back towards A, but there is a lot of time, so we'll see what they actually decide to do with it.
Copenhagen Flames can take their time now, just need to be very careful. One mistake here will pretty much cost them the comeback, or the potential one. A lot of pressure on their shoulders. Refresh comes up behind to make up for the disadvantage of losing Farlig as he moves further forward. He catches another onto Sunny. And a 4 versus 2. What can they do from this point? The answer back from Alu on the AWP, but he needs to do so much more. He's been solid this series, and this is so risky. He leaves himself open to so many angles, but punishes Queenix, and now they're good to gear up for a 2v2 retake on B, already realizing that's what's going to be needed.
Yeah, there is a nade in play as well from Alu. Not going to be throwing it immediately, though. Just boosting up over the smoke to see if they can spot any of these players. And he may get contact soon on the bomb site. Alu going ahead and getting himself another frag. Up to 3 already. It's Nodios now up close, who will eventually be able to get that trade. But there's still Sergey to try and close it out. And he will be able to win the 1 versus 1. He couldn't against you, Mitch, but in this case against Nodios, it is fine.
There's I don't want to jump on that. I don't want to be too you know, too cocky. I don't want to make
you up
Natu
for
cry.
once the brag.
Yeah, I know Natu's probably watching, and I don't want him to cry again. I saw how upset he was after that happened the first time. I heard it actually when I watched back the stream. Shout out to Natu for his beautiful compliments of me in that show match. Said some lovely things. But 15-5. No matter what, I think those tears will not be entering his eye, or not leaving them rather.
Yeah, no, ENCE are feeling incredible right now. This has been a really strong start to their CT side after a fantastic T performance as well. 10 opportunities for them to actually close this one out, so overtime is not looking too plausible here for Copenhagen Flames, if we're being honest, and it does seem like it's going to be ENCE who are able to claim themselves that 9th spot. Of course, a difference of 100 points. The 9th place getting 1,000 RMR points towards their road to Rio, of course, and the 10th only getting 900. Again, a little bit of a money difference as well. But that's kind of not the main thing that I think these teams will be focusing on, because it's not a massive amount of money. Not a lot going on from Copenhagen Flames right now either. They got themselves the pop control early on. Now are looking to see what they can do on towards B. And there's some good damage. But they are really just split up into the default, looking to see what they can find across the map at this point.
Oh, that could have been it. If X7 got the double kill, round could have been closed out as it stood. But now Rotate has to come through. And although it's in CT, you also see Sergey pushing upper B with 42 health. This is an extremely risky play, but he might just have the timing. No, Nodios comes back up the ladder. He's coming through to check this, but Sergey still wins that fight somehow, taking just 1 bullet in the meantime. And ENCE, man advantage. You can see Ariel might want to just back out of here, but he doesn't want to give up the spot he's in. Swing, 1 kill's already good enough, and a little bit of damage.
Yeah, not bad considering he was blinded there, especially for the second one. Hooksy, though, he doubles down as well. Alu, I don't know if they'll expect him to be up close right now, and he's been playing fantastic throughout the entire series, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. I believe now hitting 70 frags so far. He will unfortunately be caught off guard. Hooksy, they knew he was around the bomb site somewhere. He's just going to go ahead and try and stick the bomb plant now, but no. Being spotted by Sergey. The legs, unfortunately, just slightly around the edge of the train, and there it is. ENCE, they're able to get a 16-5